If you're a creator making videos, uploading them onto YouTube, and trying to grow an audience around that content, you may have asked yourself along the way several times, how come I'm not seeing the success that I'd really like to see? What if YouTube's success was actually closer than you think? My name is Daniel, and I've actually been on YouTube for over 10 years, and I've worked with virtually every size and type of creator there is along the way. One particular point of conversation that always seems to come up with all different size creators is the idea of having that one viral hit that takes off on your channel and really propels it forward. You've probably thought about that, right? Having that one video that drives millions of views and gets thousands of likes and comments and makes all kinds of money and really establishes you as a creator on the rise. But what if I told you that's rarely the way that most creators find success? If we take off our creator hats for a minute and start thinking more like a consumer or someone who comes to YouTube every day just to watch videos and enjoy them, it's easy to see why certain numbers start to hold a lot of value. How many subscribers a channel has, how many views their new video got, how many likes, how many comments, all those numbers that are visible from the outside looking in. In a lot of ways, our brains have been trained to judge how good or successful something is based on numbers. When a musician releases some music, we used to count how many album sales they had. Now we start to count how many downloads they have, or what ranking they have on Spotify or iTunes. When a new movie is released, we start looking at things like how many tickets they sold in the opening weekend. Was it a hit or was it a failure? Based on only a couple of days of being out in front of the audience that might enjoy it. But is the same true when it comes to YouTube videos? Let's dive into that for a minute. Here's a successful video from my channel. It's got almost 1 million views. It's got thousands of likes and comments. It's got all the metrics that would make us think this is a successful video. Plus it comes from a channel that has over 200,000 subscribers. So all the numbers from the outside looking in look pretty good. But do you know which number may not have jumped out to you immediately as a viewer? Time. The amount of time it took for this video to reach this level of success. Time is a metric that's not only undervalued, but most likely misunderstood by most of the viewing audience. Let me dig out the metrics for the video I just showed you. This is what it looked like right when I published it to my channel. Are these the kind of numbers that would quantify it as a successful video on YouTube? I'd venture to guess no, at least looking at them out of context. If this video was held to the same standard we do movies and judge it just by its opening days of release, you might think it's a failure. You might get the completely wrong impression about where this video might end up based on its initial launch. Let's crawl ahead in the lifespan of this video. As you can see, over time, its performance gets remarkably better. But the question is, why? Why did YouTube start loving this video more than it did when it was first released? Well, that's actually a trickier question to answer, and it involves a deeper understanding of how YouTube actually works. When you look only at the largest channels on the platform, these are channels who have been around for years, building communities and viewership and engaging with audience over a very long period of time, so that they have a lot of people who have clicked the subscribe button, hit the notifications bell, watched a lot of their back content recently. In short, they've built very strong, engaged communities around their channels. So when those channels launch a new video, there are plenty of people ready there to consume that particular content and send traffic data back to YouTube about what they thought of that video. YouTube can interpret that traffic data and get a better understanding about that video and who the right audience is for it, so that they can start recommending it to people who have no idea who this channel is or haven't seen that video before. Now, when a smaller channel releases a new video, often it takes them a lot longer to gather that same amount of traffic data about their new video. YouTube wants to make sure that that video can perform just as well when it's pushed out to a much larger audience as it did when it was served to a smaller group of really invested viewers that follow your channel. That's often why we'll have videos that we worked on pretty hard and we think the topic is excellent, the CTR seems pretty good, the average view duration is strong, and the engagement metrics all look good, but yet that video doesn't seem to be taking off the way we think it should. One of the ways to actually get that video to perform better is to make more content. Let me show you what I mean. As I scroll forward in the lifespan of that video, look what happens. There's another surge in views in this video halfway through its lifespan. And that's because I started making more relevant, high-performing content on my channel that helped move this video farther along. Every time someone watched things like this, YouTube would look back into my back catalog and try to find other relevant, strong performing content that they could recommend to that viewer. This ability to publish strong content consistently over time actually helped this video perform better itself. So if you're a small creator that's been working really hard on your content and you think you're doing all the right things, give yourself something that maybe you haven't. Time. Time to become a better creator with every video you publish. Time for each of your older videos to start to perform with a larger target audience. Time to start building out a larger catalog so that when you do have a video that does better than the last, YouTube has more content on your channel to reach from to serve that viewer next. Now, if you're a creator who's struggling with how to make better content, check out the video that I have on screen now, because I think that one will really help. Keep creating. Peace.